Jeff Booth connects scarcity to morality, a concept most people never link together. Today we're reacting to his argument that fiat incentives distort human behavior, while Bitcoin's fixed supply realigns it. About Bitcoin being scarce is an interesting point raised, and it kind of, I'm actually in the point where I've accumulated Bitcoin. So my journey is I bought into Bitcoin a few years ago, and I have this kind of 10-year, 15-year period, which you probably have heard about from other Bitcoin investors out there. They're all advocating the same sort of time horizon, which in my case is no different, 10 years plus. And I'm at the point where I'm not just looking at it from a future generational wealth perspective in order to preserve my capital in Bitcoin and to grow it in the long term. I'm starting to think of it more of a liberating asset, and it's kindly deeply philosophical the way Jeff Booth explained this point, which I can resonate, because I'm at the point of the journey now where I'm kind of weary about what to spend and how I'm going to spend it on. And also I look into other factors that are kind of important to me, like natural resources, how we should protect natural resources, whether it's energy, also into cheap labor. If you look into the countries he made reference, it's just not necessarily akin to third world nations, even to first world nations, right, in terms of devaluing their hard-earned income in fiat terms. That for me is an abuse, not just necessarily when it comes to manufacturing goods for the first world nations who are going to be the major purchasers of, let's say, the textile, the clothes that we wear. They are made in these third world nations, and therefore into the realm of child exploitation and cheap labor under the auspices and control of fiat money. And how Bitcoin, through scarcity, can certainly provide that ultimate protection, which leads to fairness, that transparency, that level of openness, and value-based trade. So we are all equitable, we are all having the same sort of economic rights in the system, and creating this new kind of capitalism, which is based on our contribution into the Bitcoin network. It's done so, but not by extraction, which is how the fiat system works. So this ethics-driven network, which is Bitcoin, is the ultimate vehicle that's going to help us to thrive as humanity when money is honest. That is, for me, what's really interesting from this clip. So by having a truthful, honest ledger, which is Bitcoin, is at that point when money is going to be deemed honest, which is an interesting way of thinking about it. Scarcity isn't just an economic property, it's a behavioral one. Booth's point is when money can be printed, ethics decay. When money is scarce and incorruptible, incentives shift towards responsibility and long-term thinking. That's all I have for you for today. If you value clarity on Bitcoin, blockchain technology, and real-world assets tokenization, stay alert. Subscribe and enable all notifications to stay ahead of the curve. Share this episode with those who need to understand what's coming, friends, family, and colleagues. This channel aims to deliver insight, no noise, and no hype. Subscribe now.